How to make my homemade Bakewell Tart. What other classic desserts do you guys like? So I'm starting off my Bakewell Tart by making my pastry, and it's plain flour, unsalted block butter and sugar in this bowl, and I'm using a pastry tool to help make this easier by hand. I found this in my cupboard, so I thought I'd use it. You can just rub the ingredients together with your fingertips though, or use a food processor. I'm then going to add in my egg yolk and a splash of cold water. And you want to basically mix the dough and knead it until it forms your pastry. The warmth of your hands will help bring this together, but you can also just whack everything together in the food processor and it does this bit for you. And there you have your pastry. I'm then going to grease and flour my tart tin. So I spray a little grease spray on it, and then I just dust the plain flour around the edge, and then I just tap out the excess. And then on the lightly floured work surface, I'm just going to roll out my pastry. I then carefully press my pastry into the base and sides of my tart tin, making sure to press in firmly. Didn't realise my camera had gone so wonky then. I leave my overhang on my pastry and trim it after it's baked, but now I'm just going to chill my pastry in the fridge. Now that my pastry is chilled, I'm just going to line it with some parchment paper, and then I'm going to pour in some baking beans. Make sure they're spread evenly, and then we're going to bake this for 15 minutes, take these out and bake for a further 5 minutes. When my pastry is then out the oven, I carefully trim off the excess. I then have a bowl with my melted butter, and I'm just going to add in my ground almonds, my sugar, my almond extract, and my eggs. And you just want to mix this together until combined. And then pour my raspberry jam into the middle and spread this around. And I then pour my almond mix on top. I then grab some flaked almonds and sprinkle these over the top. And then I'm going to bake in my preheated oven. And now that my tart is baked, I'm going to leave it to cool fully in the tin. And here you have the baked Bakewell Tart. So I'm just going to remove it from my tin. And then I'm just going to add a little dusting of icing sugar on top. You can do an icing drizzle if you want, it's entirely up to you. And there you have the Bakewell Tart. So this recipe is super easy, it's absolutely delicious. The full recipe is on my blog as always. You've got your homemade pastry, your jam, your almond filling, and I just absolutely love it, and I hope you do